It's another beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you've come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Where the fuck is that? Where is Hardcore Challenge Live Studios? I'm asked many times. It's down the street, around the corner. Take a left. Ask that creepy looking guy on the corner. He'll tell you where to go. That you can find it right down that alley. Down there where it's real fucking dark. At this little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And I thought, in honor of the breaking news, I'd rock some Crabtree today. Because this is why you can't listen to bullshit clickbait rumors through the off-season. Because what was the big story? As soon as the Raiders were eliminated, oh, Crabtree's gone. He's a cancer. He's gone. He started to fight with frickin' Talib. He's gone. It's all you heard. It was the first big story that came out. Crabtree and Beast Mode are gone. They'll never make it in the Gruden regime. Well. What the fuck do we know, huh? Well, I honestly didn't think he was gone to begin with. I was a proponent for keeping Crabtree. When you have a set of hands like that on your team, you don't even have another set of hands on the team currently as good as his. You don't let that man leave the building. You just don't. So, Crabtree ain't going nowhere. Sounds like rumors are, reports coming out that he is going to be a Raider for 2018. He's not going to be released. And I think if he was going to be released, you would have already seen it. You would have already seen him released. So the fact that you're talking about it now is, Amerson was released right away. So why would you think that Crabtree would not follow suit? Listen, last year was a complete and total clusterfuck from start to finish. The only reason we were relevant and still in the conversation is because the rest of our division was equally a clusterfuck. And that is the only reason. A team that was competing for the cellar the entire season happened to find themselves in a division race only because the rest of the division was pissing down their legs. So it is what it is. And last year was a complete anomaly. We had a whole new regime coming in. And the first thing you got to do, if you're any sort of management, is you come in and you sit down and you talk to everybody that you got on the team. And you evaluate. And you see who you've got that you want to keep. You don't just start coming and fire everybody. Because obviously, these guys were put on this team at one point for a reason. For talent. Somewhere, somebody thought they fit in the mix. So they were brought in. So you have to now reevaluate all of the talent and see if that talent fits in what you want to do. You don't come in and start just getting rid of people. You don't do that. So I think Gruden's doing the right thing. He knew coming in corner was one of the positions we were going to have to address directly. So he addressed that. got rid of Emerson. Which I was completely on board with. The Emerson experiment is over. It had ran its course, and it is done. So he cut that. Now the other guys, listen, man, we had one of the most talented offenses in 2016. And to say that just totally went to shit, it's not realistic. We all know that it was coaching. We know it was offensive coordinator involved. We know there was a lot more to what caused 2017 than just bad players or bad apples in the locker room that we keep hearing about. Yeah, and I'm sure there were some of those. When you start to have a season that starts to unravel and starts to go down the road that this season went down, you start to have guys in the locker room that are chirping. You start to have guys that are upset. And I would fucking hope so. I would hope professionals are not happy with the result and the product they were putting on the field in 2017. I would hope they are unhappy. I would hope there are people that were unhappy and want to redeem themselves and come out in 2018 and do the damn thing. Remains to be seen. But one of his key pieces sounds like Michael Crabtree will be returning, and I, quite frankly, am happy to hear that. Now, that doesn't mean we can't add another wide receiver into the mix. Now, I know Raider Nation as a whole seems to have you a cumulative Woody for this guy named Landry out of Miami. Now, of course, he was a free agent. Now he's been tagged. But now that they've tagged him, they're starting to let the rumors slide that they are open to negotiations for trades for Mr. Landry. Now this still keeps Raider Nation all excited because what they seen at the Pro Bowl, they seen this nice rapport Derek Carr has with Jarvis Landry, how this could be a big thing. And maybe Landry is that stud missing slot receiver. But, man, he's going to be expensive, Raider Nation. He is going to be expensive. If you get him, he's going to cost money. To pull him over, you're going to have to trade first-round picks, second-round picks. You're going to have to give a lot to get that guy. I honestly don't think we need him. If we create Crabtree, if we can get Cooper to catch the goddamn fucking ball, and we mix in Patterson a little more, I'm still not ready to scrap Seth Roberts yet. I would like to see possibly one more. But I think we're okay. I think we can be okay. You guys are forgetting about Jared Cook too. The guy's like an extra wide receiver that sitting in the tight end. I agree, my man. I agree. We've got a slot. Listen, our offense is locked and loaded again. Yes, I'd like to see us address some depth at offensive line. Sure, I might like to see us get rid of Jalen Richard and bring in another running back to add in the mix. But we're going to draft young wide receivers, so you're going to be able to address it there. We're going to draft defense heavy again, I totally believe. I want us to see go defense in the first 3 rounds again. I'm with Gabe. I'd like to see a defensive tackle in the second. I'd like to see a corner in the first. Defensive tackle or linebacker in the second. Whichever one you don't go in the second, that's where you go in the third. Holton's a... When you're looking at Holton in the wide receiver core, he's just depth. This kid's got crazy speed, and he's proven every once in a while he will come down with that deep ball. But is he somebody that we can rely on to be there consistently? I haven't seen it. Honestly, I haven't seen it. Now, I'm a little bit of a Johnny Holton fan. He was gracious enough to sign some stuff for my son in the Buccaneers overtime win in Tampa when the Raiders took him down in OT. So I got a soft spot for Johnny Holton, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he goes and you bring in some rookies. I think he goes and you bring in some rookies. I gotta agree with you on Seth Rock. I really wanted to see more out. I really wanted to see more out of Seth this year. I thought this was going to be the step-up year for Seth, but it really wasn't. But then again, I almost want to give the whole offense a pass because of the game plan we were running. So, do you hold them all accountable for having an off season when we seen that what they were being coached by was shit? So you got to take it all with a little bit of a grain of salt. So, I did see somebody mention Washington. I am a big proponent of keeping D. Wash. I think Washington has shown to have a little higher ceiling to me than Jalen Richard. I've seen both of them over a few years now. They're both basically the same type back. They're the quick gadget back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. To me, Jalen Richard is more of the liability and puts the ball on the ground a lot more than D. Wash does. So, I say you move Richard, keep Washington, and that's where we're at. I agree, my man. It's hard to base anything on last year. It's hard to base anything on last year. Bears! I'm a fucking Bears fan. This dude's lost. Somebody show him the door, please. Somebody stumbled in. He's lost. He's probably drunk. So he's still looking for the 1985 victory parade, which was the only blip on the Chicago Bears' entire career as a franchise. How pathetic is your team when you have a parade to celebrate the anniversary of winning a fucking Super Bowl? Now, the Chicago Bears had a parade for the anniversary of winning the Super Bowl. That just tells you, that's a whole new level of pathetic right there. That's a whole new level of pathetic. Who the hell has anniversary parades? But, Bears fan, hang out. Enjoy the show. Thanks for joining us. At least you came in. You brought the fire. He said, see? Even the Bears fan knows, even knew how to do it right. You step in, and you bring the fire. He stepped in and said, hey, I'm a fucking Bears fan. Go Bears. Fuck you guys. Which would be exactly what I would do if I stepped into a Bears room. So, hey, I gotta give him credit. At least he stepped in. He brought the damn fire. That's all we ever ask, right? That's all we ever ask. God damn it. Who called his fucking name? God damn it. Listen, I can't be held responsible. I've told you guys before, if you call Steve Juice's name, and you never know who the hell's going to show up. He drags all kinds of crazy assholes out with him. Well, I mean, you know how long it took me to chase Ryan Leaf off the last time you guys brought Steve Juice in here? I mean, seriously. Please. I've warned you. I told you what you need to do just to keep him under wraps. We just not play with the dark forces. So there has been... Now, this really isn't Raider related, but I feel this is a little Raider related. Usually on Tuesday, I stick with everything Raider related, but this is a little Raider related. So I do want to touch on it, even though it was mostly driven by Calvin Johnson and Dez. But competition committee is trying to figure out, it's 2018, we've had 50 plus Super Bowls and all. It's time we should really sit down, put our heads together, put our thinking caps on, really figure out what a catch is. It is 2018, 50 plus Super Bowls and all. We should probably get it figured out what a fucking catch is. Don't you think? Because if you're standing in a bar with 100 other assholes, and all 100 of you think it's a touchdown, and the ref comes on and says, he did not complete the process of the catch, and you're all looking at each other like, I don't even like that team and that was a catch. Then there's something wrong, okay? When one of the biggest parts of your fucking game, you can't even clearly define what it is, then there's something seriously wrong with that. I don't think there's a person on this planet that saw the Dez Bryant catch and thought that wasn't a catch. Of course, I love the fact that the Cowboys got fucking raw dogged. Loved it. But it was a catch. Come on. He had the ball. He takes a one step and dives for the end zone. Much more of a fucking football play does a guy need to make? The Calvin Johnson play. Same damn thing. There was a day, you all grew up the same time as I did. That's cold, bro. That's cold. That's cold. That's cold. There was a day when you took the ball and it crossed that imaginary plane. The split second a hair of that ball crossed that plane, touchdown. End of fucking discussion. Ball was in your hands, breaks the plane, touchdown. You've got these. You've got to dissect everything. Did it move in his hands a little bit? Listen, I'm glad that they're sitting down and taking a look at this, because this needs to be crystal clear. I like it. I like the 15-yard pass interference penalty. I like it. But here's what I would like to see them do. Pass interference has become too big an integral part of offense. Guys will literally drop back and just chuck the ball deep to the end of the game, hoping for a penalty. Hoping for a penalty. That's half the reason guys take a shot deep. Because they know there's a good possibility they're going to get a penalty. So, at any given time, this could be like a 40, 50, 60-yard penalty at any given time. You're having touchdowns taken off the board because two guys are out there hand-checking each other, and your offensive guy leaves the contact, he goes to turn around and catch the ball, and he's getting flagged. Offensive and defensive pass interference have become too big of a part of the game to not be challenged. What is the negative part? What is the cons of making that a challengeable play? Just pass interference. Because it's a judgment call anyway. It's happening so fast. They're having to make a bang-bang call. This takes a little of the onus off of the ref and the officials and allows for... Listen, you still only get so many challenges a half. You lose timeouts if you don't... there are already the penalties and the parameters set in place. Make them reviewable. Make it reviewable. Exactly, Gabe. It is a totally passing league. So for it to be a passing league, the league is totally pass driven. So for you not to have that play be reviewable, it just seems completely fucking ridiculous to me. It is too big of a deciding play in a game. And give the coach the chance, the same opportunity he has with any other play. He can make the decision, man, is that worth challenging? Is that one worth challenging? Or do I want to keep that challenge in my back pocket for later? You've still got to make that competitive decision as a coach through the course of the game, whether you want to challenge it or not. But I think that is one of the biggest changes I think needs to be made. Pass interference, offensive and defensive, needs to be challengeable calls. Needs to be challengeable. It is too big of a part of the game. When you can get a 60-yard swing on a fucking referee judgment call, that's too big of a part of the game. Too big a part of the game. 100%. I don't think so, Jake. That's the thing, is if you look at it, they're already only given so many challenges a game. That still doesn't change. That this is just one of those plays. But this is just one of those plays that you have to review. That you need to have a possibility to review. Are they going to review everyone? No, they still got the same amount of challenges. They still get penalized the same. So I don't think it would slow the game down. But I think it would add a little extra wrinkle to the fact of when you get down to the end of the game, you can just start chucking it and hoping for a flag. You know, I don't think it would really add any time. I just think it would add a different dynamic. That you would have the possibility to maybe not get screwed. And you know what? You get to the end of the game, and you've used up your challenges, and you get that really bad pass interference call against you. Kind of takes the bitching out, doesn't it? Hey man, if you would have saved some of your if you'd have saved a challenge for the end, you could have challenged that call. So I think it would take a little bit of the fire and the ire off of the refs, and give the. God damn it! See, that's what you get. See, you brought Steve-O Juice in, and there we go. Ooh, I agree, my man. Godson, I agree. I don't know how. That rule bit us hard. It cost us a game. But that one's a funny one. The fumble out of the end zone. If it fumbled out of the end zone and the other team doesn't possess it, should they get the ball? It just seems weird to me. It just seems weird to me that you would get the ball when you didn't turn it over. You didn't get it. What did you do to get it? Nothing. The offense fumbled the damn thing. You didn't recover it. You didn't intercept it. You didn't do anything. You probably didn't even get your goddamn hand on it. So it seems like the reward's a little too great for that. So I gotta agree with you on that. It seems like too great of a reward for the circumstance. Seems like too good. Oh. I don't know. I could be crazy. I've heard that. A few people have told me before. Now, there hasn't been a terrible lot of news on the Raider front. Because obviously, a couple weeks we've got free agency getting ready to pop, followed by the draft. Right now, everybody's in the brain room getting everything, figured out. What's going to happen, what have you. So, We'll have to see. But let's see how things are going to shake out. But I tell you what. It's going to be interesting. And I'm looking forward to the free agency. Definitely looking forward to free agency. Unfortunately, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to cut my show short. So you're only going to get half of the Raider Nation report. You're only going to get 30 minutes tonight. I apologize. But I'm going to have to cut it short. Make sure you join me on Friday. But I'm going to be off until Friday. So I'll be back for Black Friday. Till then, I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!